Hi everyone, welcome to Puddinwood Avenue. My name is Bindi. So today's little project is a little Halloween ghost. Isn't he cute? So I've made a couple of these. I made this one with a 3.5mm clover hook, and that's the one that we're going to use today. We're also going to need a pair of scissors, a darning needle. I like the one with a bent hook on them, a little bit of fill, some yarn, which we'll talk about in a second, and some safety eyes. You can choose whichever one you want. Some beads or buttons that you might use. You might want to embroider your eyes or a face onto your little ghostie, which is not a problem. We can do that. I did make a bigger one, this one here. The only difference between these ones, obviously the eyes, but I used a bigger hook to make this one. So the bigger the hook, the bigger your ghost is going to be. Just be aware though, the bigger the hook, the bigger your holes in your amigurumi stitches are going to be. The yarn we're going to use today, let me just move all of this out of the way, is a Spotlight brand. This is Bella Baby. It's called Tiz. It's an 8-ply or a DK or a lightweight 3 yarn. It's 95% premium acrylic and 5% polyester. The polyester is the lovely shiny stuff that you get inside. There's 50 grams in this ball. It is colour 208 because there are no colours on this particular brand. And this yarn is made in Turkey, and made in Turkey is amazing. So you might also want to use a stitch marker. I've got a piece of just offcuts here that I'm going to use just to show you how to do this instead of a store-bought stitch marker. But I would like also to show off my fingernails. Look at those for Halloween. These were done by Kim Lai in town here. Kim Lai's beauty salon, beauty shop. She's just had a name change. I have to just double check what her name is. I'll actually link her down below. But aren't they awesome? Very random. I'm normally a very symmetrical type person, and I just went to Kim. Yeah, you do it. I'm not looking, and I love them. Aren't they great? Ah, sparkly. Okay, sorry, distraction. Sparkly. So we're going to start today with a magic circle. Now, magic circle is not hard to do, and there are lots of different ways to do it, but the way I like to do it is simply by doing a like a slip knot, how you start normal crochet. So slip knot is just make a crossover like an awareness ribbon with the short side at the back, yarn over, hook in the loop, yarn over, pull it through, pull it tight. Slip knot, easy peasy, right? So a magic circle is exactly the same. The only thing is that we don't pull it tight. So we're going to make our loop. There goes the dogs. I can do put our yarn through. I can't even talk today. I'm excited. I've got more baby ducks down there. Another 3. They're so cute. Okay, so we're going to make our loop. We're going to put our hook in the loop. We're going to hang on to that cross so it doesn't come apart. Yarn over. Keep the loop nice and big, even if you want to put your finger in it. That's not a problem. And we're going to pull the loop, the yarn through. And then we're just going to do a simple chain stitch to lock it in place. That chain stitch doesn't count as anything. That is just to lock it into place. So you're going to have 3 pieces of yarn. We're going to make a loop. We've got a tail now that's coming out to the right, and that's fine. And we're going to do 4 single crochets into the hole in the middle, this big one. So single crochet, that is 1. Single crochet 2. Make sure you get all the plies. This yarn is a little bit splitty, but the sparkles won me over, that's why I'm using it. Single crochet number 3. Single crochet number 4. That's pretty easy to start, right? So I'm going to pull my loop, pull the tail, the short tail. I'm going to pull it, and it's going to make that loop smaller. Now, I don't like to make it really small until I have done this up. Now, I can't really see it out of my camera here. White yarn is really hard to work with on camera because it is It's a little hard to see, and especially it's got reflective in there. So I just going to play with my lighting a little bit. See if I turn it down a bit. If we can maybe see what's going on here. Maybe if I zoom in a little. There we go, we can see. All right, so I need to hold it up here. Excuse me, yes, I know, I still have that cough. Okay, so this is where we're going. We're going to count back 4 because remember we've got that chain 1 here. Doesn't really count as a stitch at all. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see that there are V's here. I might just use my hook just to show you. Not my hook, that's a needle. So we can see we've got 1, 2, 3. Now this 4th one is the trick one because we've got to distinguish between the chain 1 that we did at the end here and here it is, the V from my, if you get all the ply, Bindi, it'll work. That's the V, that's what I'm working into, okay? So count back 4 stitches and we're going to put our hook into that stitch. There's one part of it, where's the other part of it? Here it is, right in the front here. So make sure you get the 2 pieces of yarn. This yarn is just splitting. Okay, so we've got our hook through the stitch, and I'm going to make sure that my tail is in front, and I'm going to do a single crochet. We're not going to slip stitch, we're going to do a single crochet into that stitch. And that is because we are going to be working totally in the round, and we are not going to be doing a slip stitch because we don't want that seam on our ghost. Okay, so we've done 1 into that stitch there, I can see it right here. We're going to do another single crochet into the same stitch. That is 2. So we're going to end up with 8 stitches in this round because it is, hang on, let me just situate myself so that I know where I've got to put my hands. All right, because we're going to do 2 single crochet in each stitch. So that's 1, 2, we're going to find the next one and do 2 into that one, 3, 4, go around, here's the next one. Now sometimes those stitches, the front loop likes to hide down here, so I can see that there's my front loop and there's my back loop. So we're going to do 2 more in here, 5, 6, and here's my last one. So there's the front loop, there's the back loop. Oh, I got it the first try. 7 and 8. So that is round number 2. Okay, there's my hole. I can grab my tail and I'm just going to pull it a little tighter. And we're going to do, so we've now got 8 stitches and we're going to do 2 in every stitch. We're going to end up with 16. So we're doubling. So that's the one I've just come out of. I want to go to the next one. So I'm going to do 2 in here. 1, 2, go into the next stitch. 3, 4, go into the next stitch. 5, 6, go into the next stitch. 7, 8, so we're halfway there, go into the next stitch. 9, 10, next stitch. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So that's the end of round 3. Okay, now as you're working circular, this is something I only just learnt maybe 2 weeks ago. When you're working circular, because you're expanding, I can see that my beginning stitch is actually here. See the little bump here? That is where we started from. So my round is a little bit out, so I'm going to do probably 1, 2, 3, 4 more stitches to get it to equal to where this little bump is. Apparently it doesn't blow your stitch count, but it evens up your circle, and you'll see in just a second. So I'm just going to do 2 in this one. And you can see, there you go, my circle looks a little rounder, right? Okay, so what we're going to do from this point on is we're actually going to, let me just see if I can, is that any better? I hope it is. I think it might be, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 single crochet in all the rest of the rows. We want 11 rows in total. So we can see at the top up here, here's our row number 1. Oh no, hang on. Here is our row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we want 11 rows in total before we start doing our little scary bit at the bottom, and then we're going to close this up. Now the really good part about this, there's no sewing. Okay, I really do like making amigurumi parts, but I cannot sew them together and make them look good to save my life. Seriously, oh my gosh. This is great because there's no sewing, it's all one piece. All right, so we've done 3 rows. So we're just going to keep going, and we're going to stop at 11 rows. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch around. If you want to use the stitch marker now, you can use a commercial stitch marker, you could use a safety pin, you can use a bobby pin, you can use a paper clip, or a piece of just off-cut yarn is fine. So I know that that's going to be my beginning mark, where my little bumpy is down here, and that's where I finish. So I'm going to just slip this piece of yarn here. Gets in the way sometimes, but if you've got nothing else around, an off-cut is great. Okay, and I'm going to work 1 stitch in every single crochet in every stitch all the way around, and I'm going to stop when I get to this one, and then I'll move my stitch marker up. So we're on round number 3, this is round number 4, so let's go in with our first single crochet. So we're not going to increase anymore. This is how big our ghostie is going to be. So we're going to do 11 rows in total. So this is row number 4. We'll go down to probably 6 or 7 rows, and then we'll stop, and I'll show you how to, if you want to, put the little hanger part in. Now you don't have to do this, but if you want to hang it up somewhere, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's so easy, oh my gosh. And also put our little eyes in. So you can use these eyes, these funny eyes, sew the eyes on with buttons or beads, or embroider them on, but that's about the right place to do them. So we're just going to keep going around. Because I put that stitch marker in, I don't even have to count anymore. If you want to count, it should be 16. So we're just going to keep going around and around. I'll do a couple of rows with you, and then we'll come back. So row 4, and once you get your groove on, these take no time at all to make up. Pull a bit more yarn out of the I've got a crochet crew. So I am a teacher. This year I am working at the local primary school. Last year I was, and a few years before that I was at the local high school, so I've just sort of working with the younger kids at the moment. So here's the end of my row. I'm going to take that out. Next door neighbour's home, so the dogs are going to bark. So I'm going to pop that in there. Again, see, I don't have to count, but I know there's 16. And yeah, so I've got this little crochet crew. It's grades 4 to 6. They come to me every Wednesday at first break playtime, and I'm teaching them to crochet. And I have 10, 12 kids every time, which is great. I've got some amazing grade 5 girls who know how to crochet, and yep, they're grade 5. Hang on a second. Sorry about that, cough in my throat. And I've got some amazing grade 5 girls who know how to crochet already. One young lady in particular is she has made a hat, she's made a bag, she's made some amigurumi toys. She's quite talented and often helps me show the other kids on how to get started, how to do a chain. And there's a couple of other girls who know how to chain, how to do all the basic stitches. And this week we started making little curly worry worms. And it's been really fun. The kids are feeling great sense of accomplishment. And every week we've got at least one person coming in going, can I join in? So, yep, so this is where my big girls, well, not necessarily my big girls, the girls who know how to crochet, because I've got some talented grade 4s as well who know how to do this, can either work with the kids who kind of know what they're doing, sorry, I touched my microphone, or can help the other kids, the newbies, and show them how to start and how to do a chain. One lovely young lady that came to me yesterday, because today is Thursday, she came and learnt and saw me this morning and said, oh my gosh, it's about 3 meters long of chain. So she's really gotten the hang of that, which is great. And it's really exciting because the worry worms are really easy to do. You know what I mean? The curly Q worry worms. I haven't got any here. I might do a tutorial on them as well because they're really good fidget toys, because I am a qualified students with special needs teacher, and that's my role this year. And if the things I can make, and if I can make something in front of them, it takes them 5 minutes, and then they get to keep the little toy, they absolutely love that. So I'm hoping that next year we can make a few things to donate, and the kids are really excited about that. All right, so let's count how many we got. We haven't got even close to being enough yet, but let's count how many we got. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about to start row 7. I think with this one, I might make the body a little bit longer. So maybe we'll do 14 or 15 rounds. Totally up to you. You can make it as long or as short as you wanted to. I made a big one out with I think it was a 5mm hook, and it was just too big, and it kind of reminds me of an octopus. So I've got some ideas in my head on how to make a no-sew octopus, and I know there are patterns out there, but if I've got an idea, I want to see if I can work out and see how this works. All right, so we're just going to keep going around and round and round. So what was this? This is row 7. I might do a few more rows before I stop to put my eyes in, just so that I've got a bit of a gauge on how that body's going. If there is anything that you would like to learn how to make, any particular stitch you've seen or heard about, can you let me know in the comments, because I'll do a tutorial on that for you. Alright, so that's row 7. Let's pop our stitch marker up and start row 8. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. Okay, so again, we're just going to single crochet all the way around. See how easy that is with a just a off cut of yarn? Some days I really like it, sometimes it annoys me because it gets in the way. Little bit like this tail at the moment. We'll just tuck that in there, it'll be alright. The good thing about this is we're going to stuff it and we don't need to sew that tail in. That's great. But he can go in there for a little bit, please. Thank you very much. Sorry about my stupid voices. Can't help it. Alright. Yeah, so I'm really proud of the kids at school. I did start a crochet club at the high school, but our high school here have amazing and programs, different activities that kids can join up with. It's very sports orientated. We have moot club, drama club of course with me, so we can't do two things at once, but kids have got lots of ways to find out what they like to do, and so it didn't really take off as much as I would like. I do have a couple of star students who are still making things and watching my videos. So hi girls, there's two of you in particular that I am extremely proud of, loving what you're doing. One young lady brought me her round blanket that she was started off making a hat, but now it's a blanket. And she's done a great job. It's pretty big too. Okay, I can't remember what this is, row 9 maybe. Oh, see that sometimes that using the yarn is a bit of annoying. Okay, so we'll do this one and then we'll stop and we'll have a look at what we're going to do for eyes, and we'll pop in our little hanger. Count how many rows I've actually done because I've lost count. Mr. Maynard might have hurt his foot because he's just out here licking it again. Nardy, why are you licking your foot? What, Mum? What? You should see my little duckies. They're so cute. So I've got 3 bigger ducklings that are just outgrown the holes in the fence, so they can't get through anymore. And my 3 little ducklings that were born yesterday. Mama duck hasn't had babies before, and she is super protective, and so she's flying at me through the fence. Even I'm not even close to them, but the babies keep popping in and out of the holes in the fence. Like, I don't want them doing that because then they might get anywhere. Oh, now the chickens are having an argument, and that's Butters making the noise. Okay, so we're just going to stop there. We get a bit of an idea on what our little ghostie's going to look like. So let me see if I can just zoom back out here a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that tail, and I'm going to, with the other end of the yarn, so I've just pulled a little bit from around the outside because I always like to pull from the middle. I'm just going to cut a little piece of yarn and I'm going to tie a knot in it. So technical. And this is going to be our little hanger. You can crochet a piece, you can do whatever you like to do with it. I just like to just make a knot. And I think I'll make another one just to make sure that it's big enough that it's not going to pop through the middle of our ghost when we put it in. All over the place, I know, so sorry, can't keep in the right spot. Okay, so I'm just going to like double knot that, make it nice and thick, and I'm going to just put the end of it into my darning needle. Don't have to pull it all the way through, and I'm going to look inside and I'm going to find the middle hole, like where we started from. Alright, and it's going to be right here, and I'm going to, oh, my tummy's going to town, and I pull that through and pull it all the way nice and tight, and that's our little hanger. How simple is that, right? Okay, he's literally cute, I like him, so I think I'm just going to put some little eyes in him, so maybe some 5mm eyes. Are they the same size? Yep, so little ones like that. So there's an eye, there's an eye. Just find the backing for it. Now I found this little toolbox from the reject shop. And so I've just put my safety eyes in there, and I've labelled each size. I've put the ends in there, each one as well. And it just so happened that how many eyes I had and noses all fit in the right box, in the one box. I just must have known this was the box for me. So it's a plastic storage box, 17 compartments. And I got it from, and I got it from the reject shop. Easy peasy. I think it cost me $5. All right, so what we're going to do is, so this is the front, even though we don't have a seam. No, this is the back. It doesn't really matter, we don't have a seam, but I kind of would like to put this at the back still. So I'm going to come to the front, and of course where you place your eyes is going to totally depend on what your little ghost is going to look like. So I'm just going to go, probably this one here. So what row is that? So row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in between row 5 and 6, I'm going to find a hole and I'm going to pop that in there. And then I'm going to, before I put my backing on, I'm going to go make sure that I'm in the same row. So this one here. And I'm probably going to go to, yep, in the third one across. I'm just going to pop an eye in there. Have a bit of a look. Am I happy with how that looks? Are they too close together? Are they too far apart? I probably like this one better than this one, because I think I did 3. I did 1, 2, 3, and in the fourth one I put the eyes. I think I like this one with the eyes closer. All right, so I'm just going to turn it inside out. I'm going to put my backing on, and not very good with this with these acrylic nails on. And that goes pop, and I'm just going to push it all the way to the bottom, and you can hear it clicking. You know that it's on, it's not coming off. Do the same with the other side. Oh, chickens are fighting again. Pop, pop, all the way to the bottom, and there's my little ghostie. It's got a little hanger, it's got eyes, and we're just going to keep going with the rest of it. Like I said, I'm probably going to do 15. I'm kind of experimenting on how long I want it to be. So let's keep going with what we're doing. Now, what row number are we up to? I really love using my darning hook. So row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's go probably another 5, I think. So I'm going to pull that one out. Yep. All right, so let's start. So this is row number 11. And if you just want to keep going, I will meet you back when we've done another 5 rows. It's just single crochet everyone all the way around. Move your stitch marker as you get to it. It's going to be really easy to do. Oh, as long as you keep your yarn on your hook. And I'll meet you back when we've done 15 rows in total. Okay, so here we are, 15 rows. Isn't he cute? All right, so now this is where we're going to start doing the shells and doing the how to close the middle. So what we're going to do is we're actually only going to work through the front loop of the stitch. So again, let's see if I can. I always go the wrong way when I go to zoom in. So on each stitch, hello Maynard, on each stitch you can see that there are two, it's a V, right? So we're going to only work through the front loop of the stitch. What we're going to do is into the next one, we're going to do a double crochet shell stitch into the front loop only. Okay, we didn't go through the whole stitch. We only went through, I'm looking through the camera now, we only went through the front one. Okay, so we're going to do a double crochet. Now, it is going to pull, hang on. I forgot how to do double crochet all of a sudden. All right, so we're going to do Oh, what is going on with those chickens? Seriously. Sorry, my life is dust, dog hair, chickens and ducks. Alright, so we're going to go through the front loop. We're going to do a double crochet. Now don't worry, that front loop is going to pull a little bit, but it will be fine, I promise. So we're going to do 5 of those double crochets into this one stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and you're going to go, oh my god, that stitch is really pulled, I don't like it. But that's okay, because we're going to skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet, front loop only, and that's going to pull it down. Okay, so that's his little shell. Okay, we're going to skip the next stitch, and we're going to do a shell of double crochets into the front loop only of the next stitch. So we're going to do 1 into the same stitch, 2, 3, 4, couldn't count then, and 5 into that stitch. Again, it looks like it's really pulled and out of whack, but I promise you it will calm down in just a minute. So we're going to skip this stitch, and we're going to front loop only, single crochet into that one, which will pull our shell down. Okay. In the next one, we're going to skip this stitch. Just remember, you just don't go to that one because that looks like it joins on. So that's the next stitch. We're going to miss that one, and we're going to double crochet 5 into the front loop of the next stitch. 1, 2. If I'm going too fast, you can slow this down, you can rewind, go back as many times as you need to. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're going to miss this next stitch, and we're going to go into the front loop of the next one, do a single crochet. We're going to miss this stitch, and we're going to do the shell into the next one, so 5 double crochets into the next stitch, front loop only. 1, missed, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're going to skip this stitch, single crochet into here, and skip this one, and we're going to just, oh hang on, we're going to skip this one, and we're going to single crochet into the whole stitch here, single crochet into that one, and we're going to slip stitch into the whole stitch of the next one, slip stitch, so that's, don't wrap your yarn, just go straight through, and we're going to find the back loop. Mr. Magoo's home, Mr. David's home. So we're going to find the back loop of the very first stitch that we went into. It is a little hard to see, but it's that one there. So basically find where the gap is, and that right there is the back loop of that stitch. We're going to slip stitch into the back of that one, and that's going to join all of our little bits together. Oh, I think I like his longer body. That's kind of cool. All right, so that's the next bit, and I'll show you once Mr. David walks through the door. I'll show you how to close up that center, but first we'll have to stuff it. Okay, so we've gotten to here. We've slip stitched into the first back loop of the row. So our job now is to make sure that we stuff it. Now with amigurumi, you have to be very careful because if you overstuff, you will open up your stitches and you'll be able to see the stuffing, and the stuffing might also come out. So I'm just poking this in and I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting it around the pointy parts of the eyes. And I can see that I need a little bit more in there. So just be aware of how much you put in there. You want it to be firm, but if you overstuff, it's going to be out of shape. All right, so that's my little ghostie right there. I think, have I got enough? Have I got enough right up in here? I usually use the end of a hook to push right in, or a chopstick is also really, really good. I just want to open up those stitches so that we can see. Okay, I could probably put a little bit more in there. I'm really liking him, he's really cute. Right, I am going to put a little bit more just in the bottom. Okay, awesome. He's looking really cute. Alright, so with our stuffing in, our last job is now to close it up. So what we're going to do is we're only going to work in the back loops of this particular one. I am going to push this in so that we can work, but just before we close it up, I'm going to pull it out so it's not quite so full in the head, because again, I don't want it to open up the stitches. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet to start with, just one row of single crochet into the back loop of those stitches. So it's going to be really easy. We're just going to go in, bring it through, wrap our yarn, pull it through into the back loop only. So we've done that one. We're going to go to the next one we can see, feel, find, which will be our single crochet. So find the single crochet gap, find that back loop only, do a single crochet, go to the next one. We're going to go into the back loop of the shell stitch, pop it through, find the next one, and that's just going to give us our first little ridge, so you can see that it's starting to close. So find the next one. Don't be afraid to push those little shells out. We can fix them up later. Now turn that light off, and it might be better for you, but it's worse for me. Alright, there's our hole for our shell, so we're going to find that back loop only. We only want that back loop. There it is. Oh, don't get the other side. It's one way of closing it up, I suppose. Get it through that one. So we've done that one. We're going to go to the next one, which is our single crochet, which is this one here. Find that back loop. Sometimes it is a little difficult to find. And we're just going to go all the way around. So we're working 2 stitches into 1 stitch from the previous row. And that's just going to give us our foundation to close it. I think I missed too many then. I did. Where am I? I'm there. Wait, where? I jumped right over here. Oh, Maynard's decided to sit on my feet. Thanks, mate. He's a huge dog. He stands taller than me on his back legs. And he's rather heavy. So when he sits on your foot and leans up against the chair, it kind of hurts. Naughty. Struggling to see, because it's getting dark now too. And again, I live in a shed and our lighting is not the best. Okay, find this last one. Back loop only, in here somewhere. Nope, just can't pick him up. Right, go this way. There it is. Please don't ever be afraid of turning your hook around. Alright, so we're going to slip stitch into that one that we just did. And you can see that that hole is closing up already. Yep. Okay, so this is where we're going to start decreasing now. So decreasing, or two together, single crochet two together, means the same thing, is where we're starting to reduce our stitches in each round. So it's the opposite of up here where we increased, we're now decreasing. And you can see that we don't have much of a gap to close up. So we're going to go under both loops of every stitch, and we're going to go to the first one, find that stitch, pull our yarn through, but we're not going to complete our single crochet. We're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we've got 2 stitches pulled together. So we're going to do it again. So go into the next one. Oh, Maynard, seriously, dude. Pull that one through. Go into the next one. Ooh, and pull that one through. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull it through. So go into the next stitch. We're just going to do this all the way around. Into that stitch and into that stitch. Yarn over, pull it through. Make sure you get all the ply of your yarn. Story of my life. So we're going to go in here. So just going to do that all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, and we're just going to keep going. Notice I'm not counting stitches until I think we've got probably this one left to go, because that's our opening there, that's where our back is. And I'm going to pull a long tail and snip my yarn. Nip. Isn't it cute? Now to finish tying off, closing up the rest of that gap, what we're going to do is we're going to use our darning needle. So thread the end of your long tail onto there, and we're just going to go into every stitch around. 1, there should be about 6 of them. 2, if I've done it right. 3, 4, 5, 6. That was a good guess, wasn't it? And we're going to just pull that closed. Okay. So there it is, no sew. Our little ghostie, we're going to push his little shells down. Isn't it cute? And then we're just going to back and forth a couple of times so that the end doesn't come out. So I'm just gonna, there's a bit of a lump there, so I'm gonna just poke that in, and I'm just gonna go from one side to the other and just go across a couple of times. Because it's white, you're not going to see it, it's all good. And I actually like to go back right into the middle, all the way back up and out the top. Give that a little pull, so a little tiny, just to pull that in a little bit, and then we're going to cut it off. Snip. And there we have our little ghostie. I hope you enjoyed making this with me today. I actually like his longer body. This one is rather cute too. You can see that the difference. I think the shorter body would make a better octopus body perhaps. The way this is sitting, he's looking a little angry, which is kind of cool, right? Does he look angry to you? He looks angry to me. Angry ghost. All right, so that's it from me today. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you give it a go. It is pretty simple. The hardest part is probably maybe the shells, maybe closing up the bottom, but there's nothing that you can't do. Slow and steady wins the race. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for all of my subscribers, all my newbies as well, to all my little crochet crew at school. What a great bunch of kids. And I will see you next time, where I'm going to make one of these little pumpkins. Isn't he cool? He's so cute. So thank you for joining me today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.